the Bulls hosting these Seattle Supersonics, haunted the last 2 years by first-round playoff failures. They have at last reached the finals, but tonight they find themselves in the unaccustomed role of underdog. The Chicago Bulls, intent on completing a unique basketball odyssey, greeted moments ago by their roaring fans, most of whom view title number 4 as a freshen tonight. To convince the Bulls and the basketball public that they have come here as true foes, not mere foils. What a strange position for a team as good as the Sonics to be in. A team that won 64 regular season games this year, a total seldom exceeded in NBA annals. A team that in other years, against other competition, might very well be regarded as the favorite to win it all. And yet the Chicago Bulls have been installed as 10-1 favorites in this series, which means that at least in that sense, this is viewed as the greatest mismatch in NBA Finals history. If that's so, then the Bulls are on the verge not just of a championship, but of the completion of one of the golden seasons in the history of American team sports. To be compared not just to the
very first step in putting the finishing touches on their record-breaking, remarkable season.
I think we all want to be on the positive side of history. I think so far we've been that, with 72 wins, all the consecutive winnings of games that we've won. But by no means do we want to do all that and then be the team that lose to the Seattle Supersonics in the finals. I'm pretty sure that'll be marked in history too. So that's one side of history we certainly don't want to be a part of, and I think that's part of the motivation for a lot of the
turning back 3 future Hall of Famers. It was Magic Johnson and the Los Angeles Lakers in '91. Then Clyde Drexler and the Portland Trailblazers for their second straight championship in '92. And then the three-peat against 1993's most valuable.
2 of their key players that have got to come through in this series. Gary Payton, the Defensive Player of the Year, who stripped Michael Jordan in the decisive game between these 2 teams in Seattle earlier this year. Gary Payton responsible for the collective psyche of these 2 teams. And then, of course, Sean Kemp, who has literally matured before our eyes the last 6 weeks. He'll be matched up against Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman with a new, interesting, and certainly colorful hairstyle today. Rodman will try to get...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Chicago Bulls welcome the world's greatest fans to the United Center. Tonight, Game 1 of the NBA Finals is between the Seattle Supersonics and your Chicago Bulls. Now, let's meet tonight's last
escapees who look to crown him their king. Now, I talked to Michael Jordan about that. I said, what message was Phil sending? He said, well, the only message I can figure he was sending is that Phil has had way too much time between playoff games. So I guess they're prepared. So for the Seattle side of it, let's go down to Anna.
Ahmad, much of the hype in this series has been about Defensive Player of the Year, Gary Payton guarding Michael Jordan. That is not what we're going to see early. Here's what the Sonics experimented with yesterday during practice. They're going to start Gary Payton on Scottie Pippen. That's to help keep Payton out of foul trouble early and help keep the Bulls from advancing the ball. When Payton handles it, when Pippen handles it, he's going to try to slow him down. That leaves an interesting mismatch in the backcourt. We've got 6'10" Detlef Schrempf, who will actually start the game on Michael Jordan. He has a height advantage over Jordan. He's going to need a lot of help. That is going to come from Hersey Hawkins, who's going to double off Ron Harper. That's what they've experimented with. We'll see how they execute it early. Mark?
All right, Hannah, the officials, Joe Crawford, Dan Crawford, Bennett Salvatore. Guys, how long do you think the matchup of Schrempf and Jordan will last?
In the half-court game, that can be effective because Schrempf has got so much size. He's 6'10". The question is, can he stay with Michael off the dribble? But nobody else can either. Seattle at this point is just experimenting.
Irvin Johnson, Luke Longley on the opening tip, and it's controlled by the Bulls. Pippen going right at Payton. Matchup that Hannah referred to. Now they double up on Jordan. Harper is open for 3. Yes.
Well, right away, you see the strategy. They will come and double team Michael with Hersey Hawkins, just trying to get the ball out of his hands, and they're willing to let Ron Harper take that shot.
By Gary Payton being played by Ron Harper. Sean Kemp with the room.
And that's It's no surprise there. Luke Longley
not played since they eliminated Orlando on May the 27th. That was Monday, Memorial Day. And Kemp fires from deep. So Sean Kemp, who comes off the
That's the only award that the Bulls didn't win. I thought Scotty should have won that award.
And Kemp has been up moments 3 for 3 from the field.
Well, he's already hit those 2 outside jumpers, and then if he gets positioned like that in the paint, nobody will stop him.
Air ball hook shot, and the Bulls only 1 for their first 6. Johnson. Johnson getting down court, beating the Bulls, and the Sonics now lead 8.
Orlando never able to catch up the rest of the series.
His best game of the season in the game that Chicago lost to Seattle. He had game high of 21. In fact, a career high for Luke Longley, who's looking to take advantage of the Sonics, who do not have a dominating center.
This is the first series in a long, long time that Luke Longley can say, hey, now he comes up against a little used Urban Johnson and some guys who really play a lot in the perimeter. Longley should be able to capitalize.
Payton coming up short, but it's Kemp giving it back. And Kemp again is on the ball and is called for a charge. Offensive foul.
Well, offensive rebounding has been the strength of the Chicago Bulls all season long, mainly on the shoulders of Dennis Rodman, but so far it's been the Seattle Supersonics getting the extra shot opportunities. And talk about a guy getting into foul problems, that is Sean Kemp and George Carlin.
Played 3 games in Seattle where they're stronger. So I think that's a danger. That's one of my, I guess, nervousness about this game and about being at home. It's added pressure.
Yes, several of Michael's teammates talked about the added pressure as Jordan comes up with the block on Hawkins.
Again, the size of the Bulls guard, something that the Sonics haven't had to face in their earlier rounds.
And Jordan draws the foul. Foul committed by Hawkins.
It's not only the size of the Bulls guards, it's also the lack of execution by the Seattle Supersonics. If they have one weak spot in execution, slow developing play, Hersey forced to force that shot.
Jackson Field told me before the game that he thinks that the Sam Perkins-Tony Kukoc matchup is going to determine this series. Which one can lead their bench to the greatest performance?
Michael Jordan with his first free deal by Pippen.
Terrible pass by Payton. You got to move your feet and step through. That's a bad matchup with Rodman on Perkins for Chicago.
Pippen for 3. Now the Sonics have missed their last 5 shots. The Bulls are up 17-10.
Harper's really slowing down Gary Payton on the advance of the ball.
Open shot for Perkins for 3. Sam Perkins, deadly.
And right away, he knew that Perkins had that long look at an easy 3 for him.
Jordan. Yes. Michael.
Not getting better with all the expert treatment he's been getting. There's something seriously wrong there. He needs a lot more time than just a day or two's rest.
Now Jordan going against Payton. Goes to the fadeaway. Oh, he wanted that shot. He wanted Gary Payton.
Had a one-on-one. He waved everybody out of there, and he wanted to go. And not a bad job by Gary Payton. He forced Michael out just a little bit further than he likes to be on that fadeaway jump shot. But Michael's eyes lit up when he saw Payton there. He wanted a piece.
So Jordan, after the slow start, has
fouls, and now on the bench for Tony Kukoc. This is when the Bulls get even better by going small. Just 2 fouls for Luke Longley, excuse me.
And here's Askew with his first shot attempt. So Askew from downtown. Vincent Askew.
Didn't put it on the floor and get to the hoop that easily.
3 on 2, but the Bulls got back. Minute and a half left. First quarter, here's Kemp. Sean Kemp on fire. 4 even. Rodman leading the way with 6. Missing the 3. And back comes Kemp. And Kemp looked to go all the way, but stripped by Jordan. Jordan. Rebound, Kukoc. Kukoc twisting his way in midair with a 6-point lead.
Turnovers for Seattle. Chicago is terrific at turning those turnovers into points. They utilized everything that time, including the offensive glass.
Rodman tried to front Kemp and did break it up. Rodman fortunate to get a piece of the ball. So Kemp turned it over for the second time. Pippen on the offensive glass. Kerr passed on the 3 and then blocked by Kemp. Here comes Payton, but Rodman is back. 20 seconds to go in the quarter. And now George Karl says reset.
Seattle's big men are not running the floor. They're the ones that appear to be the more fatigued team.
Final seconds of the quarter. Payton on the pull-up. Rebound, Kemp. That is the end of the first quarter. The Bulls, after a slow start, able to regroup. And after one, they lead by 6. Kemp with 9, Jordan. Well, in the first quarter, the matchup has been Dennis Rodman going against Shawn Kemp right throughout. We asked Shawn, can Rodman defend you one-on-one?
I don't think anybody.
Gary Payton off to a very slow start offensively. 0 for 6 from the field, 0 points. I'd post up Shawn Kemp against Dennis Rodman. Take Dennis inside, punish him.
And here is Kukoc. Tony just beating the 24, and the Bulls now lead by still time emotionally for Gary Payton, dealing with his sister's suicide attempt. Shawn Kemp now with 11 points, although we can certainly understand him being affected as he was.
How well the Sonics do in the rebounding department with Chicago.
For the Bulls, their first turnover on that 3-second call. Nice move by Payton. And for Gary Payton, it is his first field goal. It brings the Sonics.
Phil Jackson just looked down the bench at his assistant coaches. He said, that's why I put Randy Brown in there to stop that.
Inside, and then able to hit on the follow. The poor shooting continues by Chicago. Perkins with the good look. And hits again. A 3 for Sam Perkins. He now
To see a crowd around Michael Jordan, because he said Jordan is not looking to pass. He's looking to win this thing on his own. They're down by 4, Marv.
And as you say that, Michael unleashes from 3-point range.
Well, in the last series in the conference final against Orlando, every time Phil Jackson called on push.
5 points to lead the Bulls over the Magic.
But Mark, this is a shot out of the triangle offense, which Phil Jackson tells us he wants Michael to stay in because it makes it so much more difficult to just the isolation plays.
Bulls foul called on Hopper. Gary Payton. He missed his first. And here's Longley. 10 points for Longley.
Yeah. Seattle has to move more when that ball goes into the post on the perimeter.
3-point attempt by Hawkins. And the ball will go back to Chicago.
Well, Seattle has a real bad tendency as the ball is temporarily stuck. We'll have to get Jordan to see if he can get that off the top of the glass there. I know Wilt would walk out and say, I can get that one.
I go to the old schoolyard, just throw another basketball at it. And Scottie Pippen has the right idea. And that appreciated by the official, Danny Crawford.
Wilt not in attendance tonight, but certainly Bill Russell is.
Showed the Seattle Supersonics. Bill Russell on hand. Hopper. Yes, Longley with 10.
And the nice assist to Harper that time.
Yes. Shawn Kemp with 13 points. He's had the touch.
And of course, McMillan, if he's healthy enough.
Ron Harper. They're not concerned about what Ron Harper's doing at the offensive end.
And Ron Harper has been doing it. 9 points for Harper. Here's Hawkins. Nice move off the dribble.
He cannot let Chicago come at him at one end and then just passively play on the offensive end.
Mercy will bounce back to Game 7 against Utah after the 0 for 8 and a tough time against Jeff Hornacek in Game 6. To the field. Bulls with a 41-39 lead. 2.5 remaining in this first half. Burkowski pace on the 3 and then heaves it back the other way at an ocean to a drive lane. Hawkins able to knock it down. Hersey Hawkins has tied the game.
League this year and going to the free throw line and fourth it makes.
Bulls with the ball and a 4-point lead. And Jordan is being guarded by Wingate. Jordan to
the perimeter defense, which is terrific for Seattle. Gary Payton can't control him, can't keep him in the corner, but there's nobody up top. There's nobody coming from the weak side to knock something down.
Look for scoring opportunities in transition.
Well, the Bulls led by as many as 9. They're up by 3. And he'll go to the line with 18 and 2/10 seconds remaining in this first half. Foul on Kemp. That is his second.
This is the second backdoor opportunity that the Bulls have gotten out of their triangle offense. The first one was Jordan. He ended up getting fouled. This time, the poor defensive footwork by Seattle, not opening up to the ball, having no idea that the pass was even coming. Chicago so outstanding in their set offense, their execution. The #1 rule when they cut you off backdoor and get to the hoop.
Well, the floor is spread for the closing of the quarter type of offense, and you rarely see give and go basketball anymore. Everything is either going to be post up or pick and roll, but with the floor spread, you can get those opportunities. Kemp fell asleep on the play.
All right, the Bulls 14 of 16 at the line in the second quarter, and here's pressure by Chicago, leading to the foul. It is on Jordan. That is his first. Got a glimpse of Bill Wennington making his first appearance of the first half. So Phil Jackson going through his litany of centers. Longley the starter, then John Sally, and now Bill Wennington. Jackson's Bulls up by 5 with 15 seconds remaining first half. The NBA Coach of the Year, Phil Jackson, who likes to get his points in subtle fashion. He's been referring to Seattle's superb defense as a zone defense. Every time the word defense comes up, it's preceded by zones, certainly angling for some illegal defensive calls, and Seattle led the NBA in that department.
I thought he was calling it a Zen
yes,
defense.
That may be. Very good, Matt, working on that for several days.
Well, Phil Jackson trying to paint a big picture of what's happening here. But when Seattle is illegal, they are called for it.
They have yet to be called for one in the first half. Final seconds of the half. Down to 5 seconds. Kukoc backs to three-point territory. And Bennett Salvatore comes in to make the call with 2 and 2/10 seconds to go in the half. Double foul on Wingate and Jordan.
Michael Jordan trying to get to the offensive glass, and David Wingate trying to hold him off, and the officials very quick to get in there and make this double foul call. Michael really creating havoc in there, getting the best of that matchup right there.
So they will jump it up. Urban Johnson and Scottie Pippen on the jump, and they will do it again.
Things starting to get very chippy right now. Michael Jordan senses that the Seattle Supersonics trying to get their pops in whenever they can. He's been hand fighting and battling with Askew and Wingate on this tip.
Just 2 and 2/10 seconds remaining in the first half. And that'll do it. That is waved off. So Sean Kemp, high man for Seattle with 18. Michael Jordan with 18, 12 of his 18 in the second quarter. A physical second quarter. The Bulls are up by 5. Bob Costas and the Prudential halftime report right after these messages. Miller Lite halftime stats. Seattle 16 of 34, 47% shooting, yet they're trailing in the game. Chicago with 10 additional shots, but only 36% from the field. Michael Jordan, 12 of his 18 coming in the foul-filled second quarter. Look at the turnovers. Seattle with 10 lead. Third quarter gets underway. Kemp with 18, Perkins with 11 leading Seattle, Jordan with 18, and Longley with 12 to lead the Bulls. Shrimp being played by Pippen. A quiet first half for Pippen, only 2 field goals. Irvin Johnson and Dennis Rodman with rebound number 9.
Too soft for Irvin Johnson. Come across that lane and smash that ball through the hoop.
Jordan getting right to him.
Well, once the ball went into Michael Jordan. Well, the experiment in the first half with Detlef Schrempf having the initial assignment on Michael Jordan did not work defensively. It certainly didn't help Detlef's offense as well. Here we see Sean
just underway in the third. Now Johnson switching off on Jordan. Schrempf gets back to him. Shot clock at 6. Nice move by Ron Harper. 11 for Harper.
Higher on the floor, not letting him get down so low.
Pippen looking for the steal. Here's Schrempf. Schrempf with the rebound and the bucket. So the follow by Detlef Schrempf. Pippen beating the Suns. And it counts. A foul committed by Hawkins.
Now, Dennis Rodman so aware of what all is going on between those lines. As soon as Schrempf made that layup, he got the ball quickly out of the net and fired a perfect football touchdown pass to Scottie Pippen, who actually caught that thing with one hand and almost pounded for a second to gather himself and finish off that play.
Matt, compare that play and the fact that it took about 2 seconds to console.
Let's check in with Hannah Storm. Hannah?
Marv, the Sonics will be without their all-time steals leader for the rest of this game and maybe the series. Nate McMillan telling me he's just in too much pain because of the back injury. To go for the rest of the day is going to make a determination tomorrow whether or not he'll sit out the rest of the series.
McMillan gave it a shot. Played 6 minutes in the first half. Did not attempt a field goal. Payton with a pretty move going. Now leads 64-56. George Karl was hopeful that Nate would be able to play through the bad back, which you just heard the report.
That's a major loss, and also with Bukowski already ejected. Pippen from downtown. Seattle is struggling. They've only taken 10 or 11 foul shots in the game. This is not a team, Seattle, that's shown a great ability to come from far behind.
Nice pass from Kukoc. Gus Williams and Dennis Johnson and Jack Sigmund, Fred Downtown, Brown, Paul Silas. Team coached by Lenny Wilkins, it seems, in a previous life. Kukoc off the good lead pass, and the Bulls now lead by 9. They try to do it off the dribble against Pippen. Rodman goes down, and the foul on Kemp. That's his 4th.
Again, the size differential, the guy's guarding up over the top of Payton. He's unable to get anything done. And then so little creativity. Sean Kemp throwing Rodman to the ground.
4.5 remaining. Third quarter.
Gary Payton's giving the ball up too quick.
And Schrempf hits the 3. So Detlef Schrempf, following the scoreless first half, has come on here. Closing minutes of the third quarter.
On the post play from the perimeter guys.
But Sean Kemp able to hit over Dennis Rodman. And Kemp has...
For Chicago right now, Pippen the only creator.
And Scottie Pippen knocks down the 3.
He created for himself.
And Mark, a very tough matchup for Sean Kemp now against Tony Kukoc. Detlef Schrempf finding the range in the second half.
And the game is at 75. Schrempf with all 9 points in the third. Michael Jordan is back.
Well, Michael has been perimeter-minded all night. As soon as he realized the double team was going to come so quickly in that first quarter, and he just has too much quickness for Detlef Schrempf to keep
on Michael Jordan and Gary Payton.
Action away from the ball.
Well, Gary Payton has been matched up a couple of times with Michael Jordan. Not right now, but he is trying to get up into the chest of Michael at every opportunity and making physical contact. And there, Jordan and Payton just swatting away at each other, and the offside official, Bennett Salvador.
That's just good aggressive basketball. All that context down in the chest area, certainly within the realm of sportsmanship.
And Bushler strip. 20 seconds remaining in the third. Chicago lead down to 10 seconds. Schlempp going one-on-one against Kukoc. Foul call. So that will put Schlempp at the line for 2. That's 3 on Kukoc.
Well, this is the versatility of Detlef Schrempf at the offensive end of the floor. He can go inside and post up effectively, or when he has a slower-footed defender, as he did this time, Tony Kukoc on him, trying to spread the floor, and with the shot clock winding down and the quarter clock winding down, trying to get by him and get for the basket, able to cause contact and the foul.
Steve Kerr checking back in. And the rookie from Michigan State, Eric Snow, who has seen very limited action, coming on here for the first time. So George Karl going deep into what is now a depleted bench with the departure of Frank Witkowski and Nate McMillan not available.
And giving Gary Payton a very long rest right now. 7.8 seconds left in the third quarter. Gary Payton played all 24 minutes in that first half.
Eric Snow, a second-round pick of Milwaukee, and then traded to Seattle on the day of the draft. 2-point Chicago lead. Final seconds of the third. Bushler for 3. So Judd Bushler going 0 for 4 in the third quarter. Sean Kemp pivotal in leading the Sonics back. After 3, the Bulls 79, Sonics 77. Kemp with 30 points.
If you don't double team, you get burned by the one guy, and here's one guy you have to double team.
Kukoc with a gorgeous move, spinning his way, and it leads to a timeout. George Karl wants to talk it over.
When you don't double team, Detlef Schrempf unable to just do anything against Tony Kukoc, finally having his way at the basket.
Kukoc, a 3 for Tony Kukoc, who has had
anybody, and Sean Kemp cannot guard Tony Kukoc on the perimeter.
Perkins for 3. But the Sonics hang in, down by 6. In the fourth quarter, Schrempf getting set to make his return. Seattle had missed its previous 5 shots before that jumper by Perkins. Kukoc. A potential 4-point play.
Well, Hannah Storm had told us in the last time out that George Karl warned his team Michael Jordan is going to take over. Well, right now, it's Tony Kukoc taking over. 2 3-pointers, and a little while ago, a beautiful move inside, but Tony Kukoc is feeling it. His jumper has been absent throughout the whole playoff. 3 for 36 coming into this one, and maybe this 9-day layoff, Tony Kukoc found his jumper.
Three minutes gone by in the fourth.
Looks like the Bulls want to get the ball to Kukoc, the man with the hot hands.
Well, Jordan tried to get it down low, intended for Pippen. Here is Kemp. Sean Kemp, 9 of 12 for their 4th NBA title in 6 seasons. But a long way to go. This is only game number 1. The steal by Hawker. And the Sonics call for time. that's one that will be shown time and time again. Nice move, Gary Payton with 9 points, and the Bulls now lead 93-84.
And that's the
6 minutes remaining in the fourth. Oh, picked off by Kemp, and here's Payton. Well, Longley had that pass telegraphed, and Phil Jackson is very upset.
Well, Chicago has been so sharp with the basketball throughout this ballgame, taking care of it. 6'11", Sam Perkins taking it away from the best player on the planet, Michael Jordan. And there's that post move by Gary Payton, and then Luke Longley just throwing a terrible pass as Gary Payton will finish off this play from Shawn Kemp. Only 4 of his 22 points coming in this second half.
Open look for Harper, gave it up. Dennis Rodman back on the floor playing with 5 fouls, but the Bulls now lead 95-86.
Special ball movement that the Bulls have been so noted for all season. Kukoc and Rodman, vice versa. Everybody getting involved right now. Gary Payton just can't finish in the basket area. Too much size, too much athletic ability for Chicago.
Kukoc from Jordan. 18.
And that's a big reason why Michael has not had to assert himself offensively. Tony Kukoc has picked it up.
12 of his 18 here in the fourth. Harper has had an outstanding night with the steal. And again, George Karl wants to talk it over.
Michael Jordan in transition, finding his teammates who are all running the floor. Big men just out hustling the Sonics right now. And then Harper has been in the passing lanes all night long. No answer for Seattle. They're forced to the bench again. Thing for Seattle is that Jordan, after a relatively quiet game, that's usually when he comes back and plays his absolute best. Remember, after a quiet game 3 against Orlando, comes back with 45 in the closer.
Oh, nice move by Luke. 14. That is a playoff career high. Crowd reacting. It'll be 19 on the shot clock for Seattle. Open shot for Harper, but came up with air. And here is Payton.
Able to take the game over completely. Now, Shawn Kemp has been hot throughout, but they haven't been able to capitalize on that. And Gary Payton has struggled offensively.
Oh, Michael Jordan with a high arcing jump
Performance from Scottie Pippen.
Longley. Oh, look out. Rodman just went down. Joe Crawford taking a long look. Shawn Kemp has fouled out. Here's another look at it.
A totally unnecessary play. All of them hooked up there. Frustration by Shawn Kemp. Just let that one go. You got to play above the antics of Dennis Rodman, who incites that type of behavior. And loves it all the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Actually, I think Shawn Kemp pushed him on his wrist. And he went sprawling like the...
When you got guys like Jordan and Rodman who just have such a killer instinct out there, the practice has become so competitive. And then the genius of Phil Jackson that keeps everybody sharp all the time.
Shot clock at 5. 40 seconds remaining in the game. Jordan. Yes. Dramatic fashion.
That's just an impossible matchup for Devil Shrimp, who doesn't have the foot speed to challenge Jordan.
Askew. That was a 3-point attempt. We are down to 25 seconds remaining. Looks like Pippen got a piece of it. And the Bulls now hearing it from the crowd. They're on their feet at the United Center. Michael Jordan with 28 points. Scottie Pippen with 21. Tony Kukoc with 18. Ron Harper 15. Luke Longley 14. with 32, and the Bulls have won game